Hey everyone, how you doing today? One of the things I want to talk about today is one of the key factors that I think that is being ignored by a lot of analysts these days when they're talking about the market and why things are going on and some of the reasons why we've seen some of the craziness that we've seen in the market over the past few years. And it has a lot to do with just human behavior. And I'm going to illustrate that today using an example. And the reason why I think this is important is because over all the years that I've been doing this, with each boom and each recession, I keep seeing the same things over and over again. And so I think it's important for all of us to understand this because these are cycles that keep happening over and over again. And I want all of you to be able to take advantage of these situations when these conditions exist in the future, because they're going to happen again over and over again. It's just human nature, and you'll see why. So let's go back 5 years and say it's 2014, and I want to buy a condo. And so my condo is $350,000. And I purchased this condo and I live in it, from 2014 to now. And so now here we are at 2019. And let's say this condo has gone up to $550,000. So I say, great, I've made $200,000 in that time. So let's put $200,000 here. And I say to myself, okay, I want to capture this equity that I have in my home, and I'm feeling pretty good. I want to upgrade into a single family home. And let's say that single family home is $750,000. So I go out and I sell my condo at $550,000 and I pocket the $200,000 and I purchase my single family home for $750,000. That, I think, is one of the major driving factors in the activity in real estate, is when you've got equity in your home, in order to use it without getting into some of the more advanced, complicated, because you got to remember, these are folks that understand selling and buying. And we could talk about all those other methods. And for those of you who are more educated and savvy investors out there, you know what I'm talking about, but let's just keep it simple for this example here. So for me as a seller or an owner of this condo, the only way to capture it is to sell it. So I sell it, I make my $200,000, put it in the next property at $750,000, and get a loan for the other $550,000. And you're probably wondering, well, how does this make sense? I don't get it. Well, the way this makes sense is back in 2014, okay, I picked up my condo at $350,000. Okay, I was fresh out of school, so I was only able to put 5% down. And 5% down is maybe 18,000 or something like that. Let's just call it 18,000. I don't have a calculator here, so we'll just call it 18,000. Because, I'm fresh out of school, that's about all I can muster in a year or two's worth of time. So I put away 18,000 and I can put 5% down. And because of this, I have some extra expenses. Because I'm not at 20%, I have to pay something called PMI, which is mortgage insurance. And that could cost some money. And because of that, I'm paying a little bit more than folks that put 20% down on their property. So I come to 2019 and I say, whoa, I've made $200,000. I can put 20% down on this property easy. And because I'm at 20% down, I don't have to pay PMI. So that's off the table. Even though my loan is going up by a bunch, And maybe it makes sense because I'm only paying a little bit more for a lot more home. And so after they run these numbers, that's kind of, how they make sense of this, make sense of this. I did this in the past when my condo appreciated and I wanted to get into a single family home. And I see a lot of folks doing this all the time. And so that drives activity. And, when prices are going up, you see a lot of folks on the sideline going, whoa, everybody's selling their homes, I need to get mine. It's that whole fear of missing out that people go through mentally, and drives them to go do the same thing because they feel like, I'm chasing this thing. I don't want to be outpriced out of a home. I need to take this opportunity now. And so a lot of people jump on the bandwagon. You got lots of demand, and the inventory just goes down to almost nothing. And that's what, really shoots the prices up, is really low supply and a lot of demand, simple economics. And that's what we've seen over the years. And now recently, a lot of, pretty much all of those folks that have been making moves have made their moves. And now inventory is starting to build. And because there's lots of inventory, sellers have got a lot more competition, and they are sitting longer than they were last year or the year before on the market, and they're wondering, what's going on. And so that kind of sets a resistance level in terms of, how high prices can go. And especially with the lending guidelines, like, the fact that it takes 2 median incomes to afford a median priced home. Bank's not gonna let you have any more than that. And you can have folks out there with equity, like, this is the seller buyer in this example right here. And maybe they say, I don't really care. I'm gonna bridge that gap with cash, so they can qualify for more or overpay for a home that they really want. And the thing is when all that dies out and all that has played out, then we start to get into a correction, and things start to come down. And, are we at that point right now? It's starting to show signs. We won't know for sure until more time has gone by, because we really got to flush out all that equity and flush out all those folks that are looking to make these moves. And that's typically what happens every time with the boom recession cycle. And so this is what I kind of wanted you to, wanted all of you to see out there, is some of the thought processes that are going on with buyers and sellers. And I want you to be positioned to make some moves when the time is right. And I'll be following it, and I'll be letting all of you know what I'm seeing out there. And really my point today was to show you kind of, what's caused a lot of these homeowners to sell and buyers to scramble for property out there. And hopefully we'll start to see things level out and hit a more balanced market. If you haven't been following my market reports, I've been showing you or reporting that we are moving towards that direction, to a more balanced market. And we'll see as the quarters go by how things are going. So anyway, that's all I wanted to share for you today. I just really wanted to give you that this example that really kind of shows you or give you a taste of what it's like to be someone who's made $200,000 in a piece of real estate, and what you do when you have that much equity sitting in your home. So anyway, if you have any questions, post them below and I'll get them answered for you. Hope you've enjoyed that, and I will see you next time. Take care.